Hello. Hi everyone, my name is Laura and today I want to do a middle of the month wrap-up video. So I have to start by saying that I've been doing some sports yesterday, like a workout with squats and push-ups and all the stuff I don't enjoy, and now my whole body hurts, especially my back area, and it's really annoying because it's hard for me to stand up straight. Yes, I've been so lazy the past few months that I think my body has totally forgotten how movement works. And every time I try something, I'm so stiff that it's just like, eh. Also, my arms are super thin and I'm kind of working on them to be strong arms again. I think they have been once, a little bit. So I'm doing sports now, yay! Also, I think in the last week I've kind of developed a Banjo-Tooie speedrun obsession, so I've been watching a lot of speedruns online. Speedrun is people playing games really fast, so in the case of the Banjo-Tooie speedruns that still means up to 5 hours because they are doing all the stuff you can do in the game and it takes a really long time. So I've been watching these videos again and again, and that has kind of so that did not help with me getting through my books, and I've been just sitting in front of my screen all the time watching those videos, which I'm a bit ashamed of, but still I like the game very much. It's been like one of those big games of my childhood, and I really enjoy watching the games and seeing them getting destroyed because I've never finished the game when I was a kid. And these people are like, yeah, so let's skip all the parts and just finish the game in like still 5 hours, but still enjoying the game. And then I've got some mail on Thursday because one of my most anticipated game releases of this year happened. And that's this one right here, Little Nightmares 2, and I've been waiting for this for a long time. I've pre-ordered it. I can show you, I got this a nice little TV edition. I still don't know what I want to do with it because I'm not the type of person to put out these collector's editions. I've already taken out this figurine that was in there, so I really like it. It's just like a small scene from the game. This is a horror game, so the first one was kind of spooky, and this one, so I'm not done with it yet, but so far I'm really enjoying it. So this hasn't helped me reading either. I've also got this little cute keychain, but I don't know what to do with it because I think it's too big for like to put on my keys. Because I put them in my pocket all the time and that would be such a big bulb. And I think I thought about putting it on my backpack, and I asked my girlfriend if she thought that was okay, and she was like, how old are you, 5? And I was like, okay. So I'm kind of still figuring out what to do with this little keychain here. So yeah, those are the things that did not help me reading, but I still managed to finish a few books. So the first book I finished was The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. So I had already read most of the book when February started, so it was only like 100 pages, but I still finished it. And by the time I'm filming this video, I've already also received the second book in the series finally. So I can go on next time when I can start a new book. I think I will be reading the second book. It's yeah, The Kingdom of Copper. I'm really excited for that, and I want to see where the series is going. So yeah, but City of Brass, I really enjoyed this book. It had some... So I think I mentioned it before that it was a bit confusing at times. but that I still like the characters and the book very much. Also, I'm asking people who've read this, am I supposed to like Dara? I really despised that character. I was always like, so Nari, the main character of the book, she gets thrown into this like Djinn world when she summons Dara, a Djinn, by accident, and he's kind of the love interest for her. But I found him to be so annoying. He was just so aggressive and irritating. And so there's also this other guy, Ali, and I liked him way more. And Dara was just so, just go away. I didn't. So since City of Brass was a reread, I knew the story before, but I think I forgot almost all of it. I also thought that the end scene that I had in mind, so what I remembered, that they were flying above the city somewhere, which didn't happen. So I was totally wrong. I don't know why I forgot most of the book. But still, in the end, there was some new mysteries presented, and I forgot about those as well. So now I'm really excited to discover what those are about, and I'm really looking forward to reading The Kingdom of Copper. And yes, I will be starting that one soon. So the next book that I finished was A Dead Djinn in Cairo. I listened to that on audio. It's a short story. It's like 43 pages long, so the audiobook was like 2 hours. I think it's by P. Djèlí Clark, who also wrote Ring Shout, which I haven't read, and other things. So I've ordered something about a tram car 1015, which is like kind of a sequel to this short story, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm just waiting for it to arrive at my local bookstore so I can pick it up, because I really like this short story. So this short story follows, oh God, what's her name? Fatma, I think, who's like this kind of investigator in this alternative version of Cairo, where jinns exist and angels and all sorts of supernatural stuff. And she and like an investigator from the real police, they investigate this case of the dead Djinn. And I mean, the story wasn't that long, but it was so full of character, and I really liked the world building and the setting. And it was funny because I'd just finished City of Brass, and there's also Djinn in there, so these kind of settings were quite similar actually. And so since I was just getting off and wanting to continue the Devabad trilogy, I think this one was a good story to go to next, because they resemble each other in so many points. And also, I've never gotten this before from such a short story. When I was done with the audiobook that I listened to for the short story, I really wanted to go on. I had like this book hangover that you usually get when you finish like a 13 book long series, and I got this from the 40 pages long short story. So it really impressed me and I really liked it. So I'm really looking forward to the sequel. And there's also a novel coming out set in the same universe later this year. And I've already pre-ordered that one as well, because I'm really excited for that one. So the short story really impressed me. So I'm excited to see what he can do with a whole novel that's 400 pages long. Yeah, so I enjoyed that one. That was a very great short story. So the next book I finished on audio as well was The World of Upstairs. I filmed a full review for that one, so I won't be going into any details. Let me just say I didn't enjoy it that much because it didn't have a good twist at all, and that's kind of so crucial for me to have in a thriller book, and since I didn't have that, didn't like it. The next book I finished was one that I'd been excited for a very long time, and that is Senlin Ascends. It's hiding from me somewhere up there. Maybe you can spot it, I don't know. But I enjoyed this book. I think I want to do a full review on that too, because I there's some things I want to talk about in more detail. So yeah, I think I'll be doing a review for that one. But I enjoyed this book and I'm looking forward to the sequel. But I think right now there's I don't know what's wrong with like the book ordering system of my bookstore, but it says they don't know if they can get the book or when they will be able to get the book, and so that has put me off from ordering. Also, I've ordered so many books. As you can see, the lower shelf here, this is books that I haven't read, and there's so many of these kinds of books, and I just have to read more of them before I can order new ones. But I want to continue on with the series because I liked it. I can recommend the first book. There are some things that I wished would have gone a different way. But all in all, it's a good book and I enjoyed it very much. And so the last book that I finished up till this point in this month was Die Unheimliche Bibliothek by Haruki Murakami. So I think the English title for that is The Strange Library. So it's this one right here. It's also a very short book, so I've been only finishing short stories, it seems. And it's a kind of spooky story. It also has some very nice illustrations, and I really liked that. So I've read this yesterday evening with my girlfriend. So she read this to me and I was just lying there closing my eyes, which is like an audiobook kind of. But I think I enjoyed it. It was kind of weird, but it also, so the ending, I don't think that it made a lot of sense. I don't know, it's just, it didn't feel that great. So I think the ending could have been better. But overall it was a cute little spooky story, also kind of weird. There was like a, let me see if I can find this picture that I'm looking for. Where is it? I know it exists somewhere in here. There he is. It's like this sheep guy. And yeah, so that was kind of weird. But I enjoyed it. It was a nice read for the evening. It's not long. It's just like 60 pages, and I think 20 of those are illustrations. But yeah, if you're in the mood for some short, kind of spooky story, I think this one is still worth checking out. And then there's the books that I'm still reading. First of all, we have an old friend. It's the World of Ascension. I think I've made some progress. I'm not reading this at the moment. I'm on page 450. I still want to finish it because I like this book, but I'm not in the mood for it right now. So it's just been lying there on my kind of nightstand for a while. So, but we'll get through this eventually, but be prepared to see more of this book in future wrap-ups because it will reappear, I think. So another one that I've been trying to complete is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I'm listening to the audiobook. I think I bought it like a long time ago, and when I was looking for a new audiobook to listen to recently, I was scrolling through all those that I owned but hadn't listened to yet, and so I picked this one up. I think I'm about 1/3 through this book. I'm enjoying it, but it's not, I don't have the feeling that I really want to continue at the moment. It's kind of a slog to get through. Especially now that some things have happened and the story has been going a different way. So I've been not really listening to it for a while. And then I listened to the World of Upstairs in the middle of it, so this one gets kind of pushed off a bit. But I think I don't want to DNF it yet. I think I'll go on a bit further and see where it goes from there, and then I'll decide if it's worth my time or if it's just not my kind of thing. So the next book I'm still reading is Legendborn. I think this one was in the last video as well. I don't think I've made much progress with this one as well, because I don't feel it yet. So I think in the last chapter there has been a development which might change my opinion of it depending on how it goes. But so far, this urban fantasy stuff and this secret society demon hunter thing, which is about. I never get those. Why do they do that? So if I were in the demon hunting business and I knew that demons were real, and I've got this whole organization that the whole purpose of that organization is to hunt those demons, and in this universe they kind of can recruit from the outside. So it's not that you have to be born with those magical abilities to fight demons. So there's lots of people who come in from the outside and who don't have any magical abilities at all that are recruited to fight these demons, and there's still this secret society. So why not go out to the open and be like, hey, yeah, guys, you know, demons exist, so they would have a much bigger pool to choose people from to fight these demons. And from what I've read so far, the secret society is not, so they don't have that many members. And yes, I know there's like those special chosen one kind of people in there who can't be kind of created from normal people. But I never get why they keep this secret from normal people like us. So I would like to know if there's demons out there, because then I could prepare and fight against them if need be. But if I don't know they exist, I can't do anything. I'll just die if they come around and be like, yeah, hi, I'm here. So I never get that aspect of the story, but I still will continue this because everyone loves it. I don't see it yet. I really want to, and I think this kind of twist that happened, it wasn't really a twist, it was just a new reveal about things. And I think that has kept me going for a while longer. So it will keep me going for a while longer. And to see where this goes. But yeah, I'll try. And then I think the day before yesterday or something, I was in the mood for a different audiobook because Sorcery of Thorns didn't really work out that well for me. And so I scrolled through my bought books again, and I found Caraval by Stephanie Garber, which is old. I don't know when this has been released. I think in 2017, 16, something like that. This is about Scarlet entering this Caraval event, which is a big live-action role-playing game. I don't know, it's just so she goes there, it's a game, you can win something, and she always wanted to go there, but now she's older and wiser, and she's like, no, real life is more important, and she's going to get married, but then events happen, things happen, and she ends up at this place anyways. And it's all very weird. And I enjoy that aspect of the book. So I'm curious to see where it goes. I have this kind of feeling that it's not going to turn out how I wish it would, that it will stray from those weirdness, so these weird things that have been going on so far, and the surrealism of this game, because in this game they get told that they have to remember that it's all just a game, and that some people confuse it with reality. And I really like that aspect of this story. But I also totally dislike the main character. She's super indecisive, and she's not smart, and she's not wimpy, but she just feels like a very weak protagonist who's not very interesting and also not very likable, and also not I'm missing a word here. Useful. Capable. Capable is the word that I wanted to use. So she's not very capable, and I don't like her. There's also a guy who's hot. He's also not that interesting, and her sister. Yeah, but I want to keep reading it. I'm listening to the audiobook, and I have the German audiobook, which means I can go at like 2.5 times the speed. And I think that I will be done in like 3 more hours listening to this, so I will be finishing this very soon, I hope. I'm still excited to see where it goes. Not sure if it will go the way I wish where I want it to go. That's not a sentence. Whatever. And so the final book that I'm reading right now, which I picked up when I finished Senlin Ascends, I think, is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, and I'm this far in on like page 150, and I'm really enjoying this so far. So before all this pandemic thing stuff happened, I was in a drama club at my university, and we were practicing to, so the play we were doing was Romeo and Juliet. So I'm recognizing certain things from this play and this book, and I really like this. So this is making me excited when I'm like, oh, I know that character from the play. Yeah, it's the same person, just different. There's also a supernatural aspect in this, kind of, which I really enjoy. So I'm really interested in this book, and I want to see what this mystery about, so there's people dying or they're kind of killing themselves in a kind of gruesome manner. So I'm excited to see where this is going, what the resolution to this will be. But since this is part of a series, I don't know if it will be revealed on this one. But I'm really enjoying this so far. It's been a great read, even though sometimes it's a bit confusing, and I'm not really into that love story that will develop between the kind of Romeo and Juliet stand-ins in this book. Yeah, but they haven't shared that much screen time and chemistry so far, so we'll see where that goes. And I am also, so this is a YA book, but I think it's very violent for a YA book, and that surprised me. I also like the main character, Juliet. She's really tough and also very cruel. So not cruel, but she's not afraid to use violence, and I really like that. So I really like her character. So yes, and I think since it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, this is also a good read, because it has a romance plot in it. Hi, it's me again. So I forgot to mention that there's a fourth book that I'm still reading as a physical book, and that is the German book that I want to talk about in the future as the first part of my series. Let's read German books. I still don't know what it's going to be called, but I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't go into any detail. But I'm halfway through this book. It's, I think, 400 and something pages long. So I hope I'll finish it in the beginning of next week someday. And so far I really like it, and I'm excited to talk about it. So I just wanted to, yeah, tell you that I'm reading a German book at the moment as well, and that I will be talking about it soon, I hope. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say, but I won't spoil what book it is. And so yes, this is my middle of the month update. From the feeling I've gotten while filming this, I think it's very long, so not what I wanted it to be at all. But I've gone through some books, and I've said what I wanted to say. And I wish you all a happy Valentine's Day if you're still watching this before or on Valentine's Day. And that if you have a special someone in your life, I hope that you can spend the day with them. And if you do not, I still hope that you can find something to do. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you didn't, I'm very sorry. And then yes, no. So we'll see each other again next time soon, I hope. Bye.